Hello champions, we are going to review a brand new character and it's Adam Cole, baby. So it's Adam Cole, Undisputed era. He is a showboat. He's a very requested character. Basically, after they released Hogan, he pretty much took over as the most requested character in the game. We finally have him. He's getting released today, or might have already been released by the time you're seeing this. He is a showboat. You guys know that I don't like showboats generally. We'll see if it's different for him. If we have a look at his card as a coach at 7,000, it is showboat only. Reduce the strength of opponent's power gem by 50%. Decent coach ability, usually used on leftover coach slots. Either that or there's the one that does all three that can also be used instead. But otherwise, you got a 50% versus power gem, guys like Booker, Sid, guys like that. So let's have a look. First moveset, he's going to be at 5-star bronze now, as usual. I don't have him. I just have him right now because they sent it to me to do this preview. They're going to take him away later, and I don't get to keep him. I'll have to earn him through the event, which is not looking good for me. So let's have a look. First moveset. It is a super kick. It is a 1 MP yellow move. Deal 3,500 damage and increase your yellow gem damage by 96% for 2 turns. The Panama Sunrise, 11 MP yellow move. Finisher deals 62.2k damage and destroy 7 random yellow gems and pin the opponent. And the Backstabber, 8 MP green move. Deal 29.8k damage and choose 4 gems to make into yellow gem. This is a moveset you can use starting at 3-star bronze. Now what I'm foreseeing with that is issue recycling. I have no doubt that it's going to be easy to basically get going the first time. I'm guessing it might be an issue getting it going a second time because he's a showboat. Even though you're boosting the damage, he's already got a strike against him because showboat have piss poor gem damage and they have major issue getting out of pins. Now he does have a move that increases gem damage to basically what it should be to begin with, but I still think it's going to be an issue. We're going to see how it fares during an actual match. Now the trainers we're going to be using for that is George Steele to start with more green. That should effectively make that move turn 1, along with the super kick that is already only 1. We're going to use Ziggler to create more yellows. And coaches, you really don't need him, but we're going to put Hall of Fame Booker to make 1 more. And also Booker is going to make 5% more yellow damage. And Hogan to make, again, 1 more. The reason I say you don't need him is that most of the time, you're probably not going to want to use them all because you're not going to want to end your turn with this move. You're usually going to want to end your turn with the finisher, and not ending your turn with the green would also help you to get the super kick off a second time during the same. So we'll see. At least that's the plan. I haven't done a match yet. We'll see how that goes. Right. Oh, forgot to actually be in a match before we did this. Alright, sorry about that. So we're going to go versus Vader because he's the only opponent that is 5-star that doesn't have any straps on. And I don't have any on myself. So that's basically the closest we can get. Even though I do have the perks on, that boost me a little. Having an opponent with the straps that I don't have is pretty breaking as far as testing the efficiency of a character. So we'll have a look. If we check at the active buffs, he only has the trainers. On my end, I have, well, apparently I don't have the feud buffs anymore. I don't know why, but I guess that's even better to do the preview. That's less buff for me. Take 10% less damage from all core move, that's standard. And other than that is the monthly perks, which are 20% more health. All moves start with 3 more MP, and matching gets you plus 2 MP. The rest is all the trainer bonuses. All right, so let's do this versus Vader. And those fingers, or hands out. what's that thing here? Alright, so we're gonna use that super kick to boost our yellow gem damage. Yo, now it's at 10k. Now we need 7 for the Panama Sunrise. That means I need to match 5 to get those 7 because I get 2 from the monthly perks. And I don't want any cascades. We're gonna play safe and get 6, because if I was getting 5, that would create a wild card gem, which could fall on those green, and basically I don't want that to happen. So we're only gonna use that, but I'm still gonna make some yellows on the board with the remaining ones I got. I don't want to replace the greens, because other than those two, so I do want the greens to remain there. Alright, perfect. That lets me use the super kick again. Now they're at 15k right now. Now we're going to use that. That's going to do 62 and destroy 7 of those 15k gem. Should do a decent amount. Should not be anywhere near what's needed to max him though. 232, that's actually a lot more than I expected it would. Definitely not enough, but still. We're still at 15k damage for the gems. We're going to use it another time. Now we're at 20k. Now if we're lucky, we're going to destroy 7 of them. If we're lucky and it takes out those 2 and those 2, we're going to get 2 matches of green, which would be like super ideal. Let's see. Pretty good. That reloaded the green. That did a lot of damage. Oh, he's going to kick out still. No, he did not. But we would have been ready to go another time, and actually we would have even been able to do the super kick 2 times on the next turn before we use the finisher. So that worked out pretty good. I would expect this to be pretty board dependent though, because if you don't have all those yellows that are there to destroy, you're gonna have an issue, and not only on reloading the move, but just doing enough damage. So it works well now, but I could foresee this being an issue as far as being pretty board dependent, and it also doesn't hit for that hard. I mean, of course it did 200k, but I mean 200k at 5-star is really not that big of a deal these days. So right, let's look at something else. Alright, let's have a look at another moveset. This is a moveset that works at 4-star. It is a super kick again, 1 MP yellow move, deals 3500 damage and increase your yellow gem damage by 96% for 2 turns. The Enziguri, 9 MP green move, deal 32.1k damage and choose 2 rows to make into reinforced gems. And the Corona Crash, which is kind of ironic these days as a name for a move, which is 8 MP purple, deals 21.5k damage and make 14 reinforced gems into yellow gems. So basically we want to get the Enziguri going to make those 2 rows. Then the Corona Crash is going to convert 14 of them into yellow, so effectively all of them into yellow. And you want to have the super kick before that so that those yellow do more damage. The problem I definitely foresee for that is that you have absolutely nothing reloading those 2 moves, because you're making yellow and you don't need yellow. So once you hit it, you got nothing for those 2 moves and you got to reload them again. And I don't foresee this doing that much damage that it gets the job done on the first try. So definitely foresee an issue there. Trainers we're going to be using are George Steele and Xavier Woods, basically so that we use those 2 moves pretty right away. with perks on, that means we're gonna get both move very early on. Without perks, you would need a purple match and a green match. So without perks, I definitely don't see this spec being viable. It might not be viable overall, but without specs, without perks, I don't see this being viable because you need a purple match, a green match, and then probably not get the job done and need to reload them again. Yeah, not a fan. Coach, we're gonna have Booker. I don't care really that he creates one more here. It's definitely more for the 5% more yellow damage. And Hogan here, I really want though, because it's gonna help reloading those colors. Obviously, most people don't have Hollywood Hogan, in which case I would go with Triple H DX and DX Sean, just to help both those green and purple with the same effect of reloading the colors. All right, let's do this. Right. I'm not gonna use the yellows here. Well, actually, what the hell? Let's use it and do some damage. Because I'm not gonna need it next turn anyway. I didn't want to use the moves on the first turn because one was not ready. Alright, so now we're gonna use it. So now our yellow do 15k each. We're gonna choose 2 rows to make into those reinforce. Let's put it here because it's going to connect with those 3. Actually might have been better if it didn't connect with anything, and holy crap, that did a lot more damage than I thought it would. I didn't watch what that looked like, 400k something. Alright, that does not recycle, but it definitely hits a lot harder than I thought it would. And again, I could have had 14 times 15k and have a better ID, especially since they break twice. Alright, little impressed with that. Let's look at something else. Alright, next moveset is pretty much an hybrid of both the moveset we just had a look at. This time it's going to be the yellow 2 and both greens. It is a super kick 1 MP yellow move. Deal 3500 damage and increase your yellow gem damage by 96% for 2 turns. The Enziguri 9 MP green move, deal 32.1k damage and choose 2 rows to make into reinforced gems. But this time we're going to make this work with the Backstabber, which is 8 MP green move, deal 29.8k damage and choose 4 gems to make into yellow gems. What trainers will use for that is Steel to start with more greens, Ziggler so that we're creating more yellows, and we're going to have again Booker and Hogan to create 2 more yellows. If you don't have, let's say, Hogan, I would probably suggest to go with DX Triple H to help reload that green. That would work pretty well as well, because again, if we don't get this on the very first try, we're going to need to reload the green. But in this case, at least, we don't have to reload green and purple. We only need to reload green. We got to be more careful where we place them, because we're only going to make 10. So ideally, would be nice if we can match 4 yellows already within those 2 rows. So let's see. Alright, so again, we don't have this one ready, so we're gonna wait 1 turn before we do it. Okay, use this again. Unfortunately, we don't have 4. We do have 3, so that's close enough on the bottom. Let's select those 10. And there's one we can convert. Still did a decent amount, 440,000. Damn, is he gonna kick out of that? He almost did. Yeah, 440,000, that's pretty good. Problem with that is that if he kicks out, you got nothing. Like, you gotta get those green back up, and that's gonna take you 2 match, unless you got a whole bunch of perks. It's gonna be 2 match to get those greens going, so you might be in trouble because nothing recycles. So it works, but there's a big but. Alright, let's look at the final moveset. Alright, last moveset we're going to have a look at is the 5-star moveset. It is going to be the triple yellow. It's the Panama Sunrise 11 MP yellow move finisher, deals 62.2k damage and destroys 7 random yellow gems and pin the opponent. The Fireman's Carry Neck Breaker 10 MP yellow move, deal 43.2k damage and choose 6 gems to destroy. That's the new 5-star move. And a Super Kick 1 MP yellow move, deal 3500 damage and increase your yellow gem damage by 96% for 2 turns. So you're pretty used to this move by now. All moveset use it. Trainers will use for them a cam to start with more yellow, and Zombie Nakamura, which makes it so that we're going to destroy 10, choose 10 to destroy. Also, my Zombie Nakamura is over 9k since I use him on Ronda. And that makes it so that the yellow move will do 30% more damage, which is a pretty big deal in this case because we're using 3 yellow moves. So that's 3 moves that are going to do an increased 30% more damage on top of the effectiveness of the destroy. Really good trainer for this set. I'm going to keep Hall of Fame Booker on, mainly for the 5% extra damage from the gems. He's not going to create an extra one right there. And we are going to have Rikishi to help reload the moves, shall we need to make match. Also, I forgot I mentioned with Zombie Nakamura, it affects this move. It actually affects the finisher as well, as it's going to destroy random yellow. Now, the problem I foresee with that is that we have 2 moves right here that are going to be targeting yellow gems. There's no freaking way there's going to be 21 yellow gems on the board. I definitely foresee that we're going to have issues with the board with that. Probably that with the fireman, especially if we have both moves ready on the first turn, on the same turn, I mean, we're probably going to try to go with other colors than yellows on the Fireman's Carry, in which case probably the green would be the best as it's the second biggest damage gem. But we'll see. Well, maybe we're going to have a great board. Right. We don't have, oh, actually, yes, we do have a yellow match by doing this. Our move are going to be ready next turn. There you go. So right now the yellow damage is at 10k. This should bring it to 15k. Now we're going to choose 10 gem to destroy. Can't really do much. I'm going to bring those there. Take this one as well. Let's take this. Anything else I can make? Well, we're out of gems to pick anyway. $130k that did. We got out of that. Now we're gonna get pinned. Get out of that. Where the hell do I even have a match? Oh, there it is. Okay, let's boost the yellow again. Now yellow does 10k, because we lost during the pin attempt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we make something collapse? We can get some black to collapse there. Other than that, 3 of those. That's gonna get the blacks again. This one's gonna collapse on its own, so I don't need 2. And let's take this. I'm pretty much getting a pin every time without getting to the finisher. And we're getting pinned again. That cost us our buff. Let's do this again. So now we're at what, 10k again. Now we didn't have the second one that reloaded, which means we're going to use the finisher, which is going to be 80k plus 11 randoms. There's only 6. Now we only have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we got a decent amount of yellow back. Didn't lose too much there. Use that again. Maybe back around 10k. It is. Let's see if we can finish this up. $165. So it does work. A little better than I expected it would, but I would expect this to be very board dependent. Right, so that is pretty much it. Let me just show you the remaining move that we didn't use because I don't really see it being useful anywhere. So it's the second purple one. Is the Crossbody, which is a 7 MP purple move, deal 24.6k damage and make 6 random gems into yellows. Obviously you could go with double purple and one of the yellows, but the issue is that you got nothing reloading your purple again. So I mean, he definitely has issue with recycling, and he also doesn't hit that big, so he works, but I would probably put him somewhere within a lower tier 2, upper, no, not upper tier 3, probably lower tier 2. Good character, well, great character, but definitely nowhere near a top character, unfortunately. And being Adam Cole, I would expect that he's going to be required very often. Like I would expect him to be probably required the same amount that we keep seeing Gargano everywhere. So that's pretty much what I expect. So it sucks that I'm not gonna get him, or at least I don't know. Maybe I will, but I really don't expect to. But yeah, that's it for Adam Cole. Again, he's getting released today. Actually, he's already released by now. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you're not already a sub, make sure to do so to be kept aware when I post new stuff. Have any questions, ask them. And if you like the video, leave a like and share. See you guys. Ciao.